To introduce our speaker this morning, Mr. Jones.
Morning, guys. One of the great things about teaching foreign language is that we get to spend consecutive years with the same students. And with Danny Lewis, I've spent 3 years in various levels of Latin, Italian, and Roman history. Come to see Danny in different ways over the years. Sometimes he reminds me of Indiana Jones with his quest for knowledge, truth, understanding, the accumulation and collection of stories, and even that hat he sometimes wears. Other times he reminds me of Stewie from Family Guy. I'm pretty sure he's going to use some of that knowledge he acquires for his own dark and domineering ends. If you spend a considerable amount of time with him, you'll see he could play a pretty good Bond villain on occasion. I also know Danny is a thoughtful person, one vested in the abolition of ignorance and the freedom that can be obtained through understanding. I'm sure he has much to offer you over the next few minutes, and so I urge you to help me dance Danny Lewis onto the stage.
Hi. Bit unnerving up here. So let's do this. Hello. As I stand before all of you today, I wish to do nothing less than impart my own experiences upon you. When I first found out about senior chapel talks, I was up on my feet. I was ready to do one of my own. I wanted to say something provocative, something intellectually challenging. I wanted to possibly influence those around me. While many people seemed unenthusiastic about going to these, let alone even doing one, my want to do one continually grew. At times it seemed futile. People who didn't really care, and all this does is stood for myself and all of you. I want to do this for not only myself, but all of you. I've seen people try to instill values in us, and yet, as soon as we leave through the threshold of the chapel doors, it seems to be broken. But consequently, the chapel talks, they've always appeared as an initial graduation of sorts, a final farewell for us seniors. So as I stand before all of you today, I'm leaving my final mark on all of you. Some of you may... Some of you may choose to listen. Some of you may choose to ignore me. In the end, my goal is to do this for everyone's benefit. I'm giving back to the community that has brought me up, put me down, and given me moments I will never forget in my life. So what are all of us? When I first sat down to think about this, nothing came to mind. Therefore, I just decided to sleep instead, putting on some music to help me sleep, when a certain song just came on to answer a question for me. A certain Sir Elton John sang out a universal declaration to stop hatred, and he ended the song with, "He's my brother, let us live in peace." Border song, in case you didn't know, but that's when it hit me. A topic when my past misanthropy would never have endeavored to think of writing. Every single one of you. I may love you. I may hate you. I may not know you. I may know you. Whatever race you may be, every single one of you is my brother. Though we all may have our fallouts and differences, each one of you, my brothers, is dear to me in a unique way. McCallie is a brotherhood of us men, and our whole is greater than the sum of each part. More than acquaintances, more than friends, but as true fraternal siblings, think of what we could accomplish by working together. We've seen what we can do as a disjointed group, but just ponder the results of a perfect union between all of us. It would be magnificent. This band of brothers, this glorious fraternity, we will overcome all. Look at each other. We're all brothers. We're bound by the struggles, the highs, and the overall experience that we have all undertook in coming here. We may not be related by blood, but our trials together bond us in a way that blood never would. No matter where we go, what we do, who we end up as, this will always remain the same. So this year, I've decided to speak up. My dear brothers, please listen to my words and decide if you want to take something away from this speech. I come to provide some simple guiding words that you may choose to follow. Now let me beseech you all, not just as a brother behind a podium, not as an upperclassman, I messed that up, but as a brother. Let me instill upon you the true bulk of this speech. It's a simple plea. I'm tired. I'm just tired of seeing how knowledge is such a low value. It's a very valuable commodity, if not the most. Ignorance. It's seen in the world today and is nothing less than appalling. Don't fall prey to the bandwagon. Think of how your own empty-headedness could affect you in the future. Find your ways to appease your own lust for knowledge. Read some books, scour Wikipedia, and indulge yourself and your lust for knowledge in every way of learning possible. Sure, it all depends on your interests, but the varied knowledge is learned here at McCallie and at any school will do nothing but benefit you. I've always had a love for knowledge. Sure, I've had issues repeating it back. Everyone does, with tests and whatnot. But the acquiring of knowledge is a passion that everyone should have to succeed. What I'm looking to do is send a message to all of you, endeavoring maybe to influence a few of you, but if it influences more than just a few, that's my goal. Through my own lack of knowledge, I have wasted opportunities that I should have used to my utmost benefit. Don't fall prey to the same situation. You have plenty of opportunities that you could and should use to your ultimate benefit. Through unfortunate fate and naivete, I have ignored many callings and abstained from working towards my passions until too much time has passed. The things I had once loved and which would have helped me in my future slowly vanished to be replaced by sweet, worthless time killers. Don't fall prey to the same situation. Firmly grasp every calling you can take. And don't ignore them. Ignorance, it's a scourge that plagues many areas. In a time when the culmination of knowledge is at your fingertips, a large percentile of people still think contracting cancer is up to fate. Ha! Let us be willing to work towards a goal of emancipating ourselves from mental bondage, and let us continue this process into the future and help carve a niche in this world which we endeavor to cut it all away. So do your best to overcome your own benightedness. Learning more about the world around you unlocks more doors. More specifically, it allows you to see inside yourself. One of the biggest discoveries I have made in this last year as a person is the way in which introspection can help a person. After spending time combating self-loathing for many years and learning more about my own environment and self, I discovered many ways in which I could change. The culmination of all my knowledge over the years led to the unearthing of myself. I spent time with music and books, reading, listening, and using these mediums to help relate to my own self. And let me fix many of my problems that I did have. Look into yourself. Do you see problems that you have that you can fix? Well, let them remain stagnant. Take the bull by the horns. Epiphanies help define how you want to live your life. I remember reading the story of the outsiders in the 8th grade and reading the story of Ponyboy and his epiphany, no longer wanting to be a juvenile delinquent. But when I was reading this, I thought that these were totally unobtainable, these epiphanies. Little I didn't know that within the next year I would have a dramatic shift in the subjects that I love the most and the first epiphanies I can remember. All of the time I spent battling with myself to become a person whose company I could wholly enjoy, it really changed who I am. Take more time to look inside yourself. Take a day. Take a week. Take a month. How do you truly feel about yourself? Epiphanies can take hold of you and spin your life around. I never expected that I'd go up from not knowing a thing about music to being able to ad-lib an entire Culture Fest session on the British invasion, or even just picking up instruments that I had once let go before I even moved to Tennessee. One can never see the ways in which epiphanies will affect them, but they come and go. Some may hit harm, some may be fleeting, but they all will provide a mirror which will flex your personality as a whole. Your epiphanies help define who you will and who you want to be in the future. This has gone on long enough. Let us conclude this. Before I end this, though, I'd just like to clarify. I've never really gone through any true hardships. Nothing truly bad has happened. I've just combated with myself. No one with really anyone else. Therefore, every part of this comes from the perspective of the easy life of a McCallie student. What do I expect you to take from this? Really, take away anything you want to. Maybe you'll use this to help improve yourself. Do that, and you'll gain my utmost respect. Maybe you'll just glaze over this. Do that, and I still won't think any less of you. Take what you will. If you want this time to be wasted, that's your own decision. My goal was to make a desperate appeal to you, hoping that as my brothers you could see the fog that's clouding your eyes. In the end, allow yourself to be introspective. Look for problems within yourself that you can easily solve. Use your opportunities to the greatest advantage, and don't leave the school with regrets. Remember, we all are the future. Thank you.